Hello friends, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the camera tube and the picture tube. In the camera tube, basically whatever picture is there, it is going to be divided into number of the lines, and that is known as the scanning. So camera tube is going to read the picture line by line, and the picture tube will paint the picture, it will draw the picture line by line. So here we require a kind of scanning in a camera tube as well as the scanning in a picture tube. So today in this video lecture we will discuss how the camera tube is going to read the picture, or how the scanning of the picture is taking place in the camera as well as in the picture tube. So basically here if you see, this scanning is a kind of a rectangular frame is there. So in camera or in a picture tube, whatever the frame is there, it is a rectangle. So we know it is known as a rectangular scanning. So this frame, now what is the size of the scanning, or what is the size of the frame? So normally the size of the frame here, if we have the weight, let us say it is a 4 unit, and this height is a 3 unit. This width is of a 4 unit and height is of 3 unit. Then this ratio of width to the height is known as the aspect ratio. Remember. So in the television, the aspect ratio is nothing but the width to the height. And for a rectangular scanning we have, and this is a very standard, it is 1.33. So before the scanning you should know what is the aspect ratio of the frame. Okay? Okay. Now let us see the scanning. We have two types of the scanning. One is known as a progressive scanning. The first one is progressive scanning, and the another one is known as a interlace scanning. So progressive scanning, it is a basic scanning system. So to understand the scanning, first of all we should understand what is the progressive scanning. It is also known as a sequential scanning. But most widely scanning system is used in the television is a interlace scanning. So here we will discuss both the types of the scanning, what is a progressive and what is the advantage of a interlace scanning. So let us start with the progressive scanning. So in a progressive scanning, whatever the picture is there or the frame is there, this frame is going to be read by the electron gun of the camera tube, and this frame is going to divide in a number of the line. And how this frame is going to be read by the camera tube is just like we read a page of the paper. So here if we have, suppose we are going to read this page. This page is called a frame. And when I want to read any page, then always we start to read this from the left corner. Left corner frame means from this. And then I will read the line. First line from left to right. So from when we are moving, our eye is moving from left to right, we read the sentence. Again, when this line is going to be end, then we are going for the second line. But when we go for the second line, then almost our brain is going to be sorry, our eye is going to be blank. Blank means we are not going to read anything because there is no information between the two lines. So then we will read the second line, and then again we are coming back for the third line. So whenever we are coming back, then we are not getting any information. Then we get the information for the next line. So in this way, whatever the information is there in the page, so it is going to be read by line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, and then when this page is going to be end, or you can say the frame is going to be end, then again for the repetition of the page, we are coming back to the left corner of the page, top left corner of the page, and again we read this paper. The same thing is also going to be happen in a television. So let us say we have this kind of the frame. This is a left corner, top left corner, you can see, and let us say a kind of a picture. This picture has to be read by the electron gun. So what will be the initial position of the electron gun? Initially when the scanning is going to start, the electron gun will be here, top of the frame, left hand side, and then electron gun here, whatever the electron gun is there, it is going to produce the electron beam. This electron beam, initially it will be in this position. Then this electron beam will move from left to right in this way. Remember. So this is the left side, this is the right side. So during this scanning, whatever the information is there, information will be in the form of what? The variation in the intensity of light. Accordingly, the video signal is going to be generated. So here, the first of all, we can say it is scanning the line number 1. When the line number 1 is over, then this electron beam coming back to this left hand side, and then it will scan the line number 2 in this manner. So here the line number 2 will be there and produce the video signal. But remember, when the line number 1 is over and coming back for the line number 2, during that time electron gun will be blank out. Means there will not be any electron beam. Here electron beam will be cut off, and due to that you will not get any kind of a video signal during this time period of this 1 to 2. When the second line is over, again this beam is coming back for the line number 3, and it will trace the line number 3. So in this way, here you can see in line number 3 there is a variation of the intensity of the light is there. So the video signal is going to be generated. So you can say it is going to trace the picture. When this line number 3 is over, it will come back for the next line, that is 4, and here in this way the complete frame is going to be traced by this electron gun. Correct? And this one is the last line. So here the last line is over, your frame is over. Then again you have to repeat the frame, because in a television when we see the picture, then it is a continuous. Actually it is not a continuous, but it is frame to frame is there. here the first frame is going to be completed. Then after the second frame will start. Second frame means again it will read the picture. So after completing this, your electron beam will again come back to this position. From this, it is moving in this way to a left order. Again, it will read the line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, like this. So, in this way, the frame is going to be scaled sequentially. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this sequence, it is going to be scanned the picture, and therefore it is known as a progressive scaling. Now here, whatever the one complete frame is there, this one complete frame, total there are 625 lines are there. And the last line number is a 625. The whole picture is going to divide in 625 lines. And then it is coming back for the next line. Then here, now you try to understand some terminology that will be helpful to you to understand what is a composite video signal. So let us see some terminology in the scaling. Okay. So here the progressive scaling is mentioned in this diagram, and you can see this line number 1, then we have line number 2, then the line number 3, and the last one is line number 625 is there. So whenever the line number 1 is scanned, it is collecting the information. So here this line is known as a horizontal trace, or it is known as a horizontal tracing time, because during this period we are getting the information. Now when the line number 1 is over, then it is coming back for the line number 2. So when it is coming back, at that time the electron gun is going to be blanked out. You are not getting the information. Then that is known as a horizontal retrace, or sometimes also it is known as a horizontal blanking. So during this blanking period, electron gun is cut out, so you don't have any information. Then again the line number 2 is scanned, you will get the information, that is a horizontal tracing, and then coming back for the line number 3. So in this way, when this line number 625 is going to be completed, then the electron gun is coming back for the next frame, that is the left hand side of the top corner. Then whatever this electron gun is there, it is coming from this point to this point. Again, the electron gun is going to be cut out. It is not collecting the information, and therefore it is known as a vertical retrace, or you can say it is a vertical blanking. It is known as vertical blanking. Now remember that here we have two types of the scanning. One scanning means when the electron beam is moving from left to right, means in this direction. Electron beam is moving in horizontal direction. It is known as a horizontal. This is known as a horizontal scanning. Now at the same time, the electron beam is also moving from top to bottom. Here you can see whatever the line is there, this line is not exactly a horizontal, but it has some flow. So due to this, when it is coming back for the next line, then there will be some distance. Otherwise, what will happen? It will go on scaling on the one line. So to go for the next one, here the electron beam is moving from a top to bottom. Then this is known as a vertical scaling. So the two scanning are taking place simultaneously. Electron beam is moving due to the horizontal coil, as well as it is also moving due to the vertical coil. So on a camera tube, whatever the deflection coil is there, this deflection coil consists of a horizontal coil and a vertical coil. Deflection coil consists of a horizontal coil plus a vertical coil, and this is a combination of both the coil is known as a yoke. This deflection coil is always on the neck of the picture tube and the neck of the camera tube. What is the function of the horizontal coil? That is deflecting the electron beam in horizontal direction. Means from a left to right. What is the function of the vertical coil? That is going to deflect the electron beam, in vertical direction. Means a top to bottom. Correct? Horizontal scanning is very fast. Remember, the electron beam is moving from the left to right, that speed is very high. So this scanning is a fast scanning. And the electron beam is moving from top to bottom, vertical scanning, that is a flow scanning. So the time duration for the horizontal scanning and the vertical scanning is different. That we will see in the internet scanning, what is the time period. But here we should understand that in a one frame we have 625 lines. Whatever the frame is there, this one frame consists of a 625 lines. And in 1 second, 25 lines are going to be scanned. Sorry, 25 frame is going to be scanned. So here in 1 second, 25 frame is scanned. Means the number of the lines will be 625 into 25, and therefore the total will be 15,625 lines is going to be scanned in 1 second. Here the same thing I will write somewhere else, otherwise you cannot see. So remember, in one frame there are 625 lines. In 1 second, 25 frame are scanned means 625 into 25, so total 15,625 lines are scanned in a 1 second. Okay. You can see that in 1 second only the 25 frames are going to be scanned, and due to this low frame frequency, some kind of the flickering you can observe on the screen. And why you can see the flickering? Because of the persistence of the eye. Now I don't have to explain what is the persistence of the eye, but you should remember that the number of the frames are only 25, and therefore you can experience a kind of a flickering on the screen. So if you want to remove this, then we have to increase the repetition rate of the frame, and that is possible in the inter-disc scanning, where the one frame is displayed 2 times on the screen. So the frame frequency is going to increase, and this frame is divided in 2 parts. So now let us see what is the inter-disc scanning. This is very important scanning in a television. So in inter-disc scanning, we have to increase the repetition rate of the frame so that you cannot observe a flickering. And therefore, here whatever the frame is there, can say the one frame. This frame means what? It is a 625 line. This frame is divided in 2 parts. Remember, and that is called a field. This is also a field. So one frame is divided in 2 fields. So what is this field? So here, this field means it will scan the odd number of the lines. Odd number of lines, and these lines are the line number 1, line number 3, line number 5, and the last line is 625. So what are the total number of the lines? Total number of the lines are 312 and half lines. So in one of the field, the total number of the lines are 312 and half, because the frame is divided in 2 parts. Correct? So here it will draw a line number 1, 3, 5, 7 like this, and therefore this is known as a odd field. Remember, here if I will write, then you can say it is a odd field. Then what is the second field? The second field is known as even field. Even field means it will draw the even number of the line. So what are the remaining lines? Line number 2, 4, 6 and 624. Here instead of this we can say it is going to draw a last line will be a 625, but it will be half of that. Here also whatever the last line is there, it is not a complete, but the half of the 625 lines are there. So in this way, if we see the total number of the line in this field is 312 and half lines. the frame, in this frame, odd number of the lines are going to be scanned, and then the even number of the lines are going to be scanned. So this frame is divided in two parts, that is the odd field and the even field. So the frame repetition rate is going to be double, and you can avoid a kind of a flickering on the screen. So let us see how it is going to be scanned. So we have this frame. Now again, like a progress scanning, your electron beam will start from the top of the frame, left hand side. Then it will trace the line number 1. Remember, here, trace the line number 1, and then it will come back. Remember, here it is going to come back to a left hand side, and then it will trace the line number 3. Remember, the line number 2 is going to be skipped, because first of all it will complete the odd field. After the line number 3 is over, it will scan the line number 5. And in this way, it is go on scanning. Remember, it is go on scanning the frame. And here, what will be the last line? Last line will be a 625, but it is not a complete. Half of the line is here. So the odd field is going to be completed. After completing this odd field, the even field is going to start. And how it will be start? So here the frame is going to be over. So now this electron beam will come in at the center of the frame, but on the top side here. And initially it will trace whatever the remaining, the 625 line is there. 625 and half line is there. It is going to be completed here. And now it will start the line number 2. So from this, electron beam is coming back to the left hand side like this, and then here we have scan the line number 2. Line number 2 is over, then again it is coming back for the line number 4. So here, when this 625 line is going to be completed, then only it will start to scan the line number 2. Means the electron beam will move from left to right and complete this line number 2. After completing this, it will draw a line number 4 in this manner. And here the same way, this is going to be line number 6. When this odd field, even field is going to be completed, here the last line will be there, and that last line will be a 624. So the 624 is there, and the electron beam will be in the bottom. Okay? So here, first of all, the odd field is scanned, then the even field is scanned, and then after completing this framing, this electron beam will come back to this top of the frame. Correct? And again it is going to repeat the frame. So now let us understand the terminology. Correct? The same scanning is present here, internal scanning is there, and you can see the blue lines are representing. This blue lines is representing a odd number of the lines, number 1, 3, 5, 7, like this. And whenever this last line of the odd field, that is a 625.5 is there. So it is not exactly on the corner, but here it is in the center of the bottom. And from this, it will go to the top of the center of the top. And then it will stay, it will complete the line number 625. So this is a scanning of a odd number of the line. But when this electron beam is moving for a line number 1 to left side to right side, then this is known as a horizontal trace. You can say horizontal tracing period. During this, it will collect the information of a picture. Then when it is coming back for the line number 3, then this dotted line is known as a horizontal retrace. So at that time, electron gun is going to be blank out and no information is collected. So same way, when this 625.5 line is completed, then the electron beam is coming to this position. So here the electron gun is blank out and therefore it is known as a vertical retrace. Here we have a horizontal retrace and here we have a vertical retrace. After this vertical retrace, it will start the even number of the lines. First of all, it will finish the 625.5 and then it is coming back for the line number 2, then the line number 4, the line number 6, and the last line will be a 624 will be there, and this is the position of a electron beam. That is the bottom corner. And from the bottom corner, again it is going to the top corner. And this time, here the electron beam is going to be a blank out and therefore it is known as a vertical retrace. So in this way, here in a internal scanning, we have two vertical retraces. One is after the odd field and another is after completing the frame. Correct? Okay. Now, let us try to understand that here, that one plane is divided in two parts. Correct? One is known as a odd field and even field. So in 1 second, how many frames is going to be repeated? 25 frames are repeated. And therefore, in 1 second, number of the field is a 25 into 2 and that is the 50 fields are there. So, what is the time period for completing in one field? Either it is a odd field or a even field. So, here we write the time for one field equal to 1 upon 50 and this is comes out to be a 20 milliseconds. So, either to complete a odd field or a even field, 20 millisecond time is required. And from this we can calculate the frequency. So here this is known as a frequency of vertical scanning is 1 upon 20 millisecond. Frequency means 1 upon t. So this is a 50 hertz. So you should understand that to complete in one thing, the scanning frequency, required scanning frequency is a 50 hertz. Okay? Now, let us see what is the horizontal scanning frequency. The number of lines. Number of the lines are in one frame, number of lines are 625. Okay? So here a 25 frame, number of lines are 625 into 25. It is a 15,625 lines. Now instead of a 25 frame, you can also say that in a 50 fields, number of lines are 15,625. Okay? So in 1 second, in 1 second, how many lines are going to be dropped or it is going to be placed? In 1 second, number of lines are 15,625. So how much time period is required to draw a one line? Time for one line is equal to 1 upon 15,625, and that is the 64 microsecond. This is known as a horizontal scanning time. Remember, horizontal scanning time is 64 microsecond. You can see it. And if you have the time, now you can calculate the frequency. So, horizontal scanning frequency is 1 upon 64 microseconds, and that is 15,625 hertz. So, if you want a horizontal scanning, you have to give a signal of 15,625 hertz to the horizontal coil. That is a horizontal scanning frequency. Sometimes it is also known as a line frequency. This is known as the line frequency. So, two things you have to remember, that first of all, that in a television, the two scanning frequencies there. One is known as the horizontal scanning frequency. The another thing is a line scanning frequency, and that is equal to 15,625 hertz. The second one is known as a vertical scanning frequency, and it is known as a field frequency. It is a 50 hertz. So, here, whatever the line number 1, 2, 3 is going to be traced, for that we require a sawtooth signal of a 15,625 hertz. And to move the electron beam from top to bottom, you require a vertical scanning frequency of 50 hertz. Now in the next lecture, we will discuss about a composite video signal. So basically these are the scanning frequencies. But here, whatever the 64 microsecond we have considered, that during the 64 microsecond, the electron gun is moving from left to right as well as also coming back to the left. That is a total 64 time period. So how much time period is required to trace the picture and how much time is required for the retrace? So all these things we will discuss in a next lecture.